Give it up for Josh Johnson!
It's been fantastic being back here. I've been so excited to come back, and I've noticed a few things. I've noticed okay. There's a few differences that are jarring to me, and I didn't notice them the first time, even the second time that I came here. Your taxi drivers are so good. I'm not sure what you're used to. Maybe I've only had the nice ones. I have no idea. But they're like knowledgeable. Maybe I'm not getting it across. They have to take like a test, like a hard test, and you know about it. I'm not saying that the taxi drivers in New York don't have to take a test. I'm sure there's some tests, but it feels like the test in New York is hitting your first person. Like, just... The test that y'all have created for your taxi drivers, to me, is wild, because it's a lot of knowledge that you have to have in you. Like, you need to know. And I understand that's probably back from when there were no alternatives. Like, they made this test a long time ago when, you should know every inch, every corner, because you're gonna have to get people where they're going, and they may not know. But then GPS did come out. And so the fact that for the test, y'all make these taxi drivers sit there. They're not even taxi drivers yet. They want to be taxi drivers. And you make them sit there and tell them, hey, get me to this place. But they're not driving. They don't drive you there. They got to know how to get there in their head. That blows my mind. That they have to sit there and be like, all right, left on, right on, straight, 2 blocks. They have to do that like they're playing chess. Meanwhile, in the U.S., you hop in a cab. I've hopped in cabs that weren't that far from my apartment and told them my address, and they were like, where? Like, I've been in a cab with the cab driver, and both of us are lost. Like, I'm not saying people can't have a bad day or not know where something is. Maybe they've never been somewhere before. I understand that New York is a very big place and everything. But if I also have to pull out my Google Maps while you pull out your Google Maps, I don't know, maybe some sort of discount is in order. Like, I've been in the taxis here, and they're so chipper. Ask you about yourself, how long you're visiting. And this isn't just one, this is like several. This has been my general experience, that they're very, very nice. They're very, very professional, I understand everybody probably isn't that way, but wow, by and large, I've been amazed. There was one time I took a cab when I was in New York, and it was a similar situation where I looked up and I was like, okay, maybe he's going a different way than I'm used to, because I was going home. And finally, I just, to myself, quietly, opened my phone, put my address in Google Maps, and I could see where we were and where home was. And then I knew where we had left, and it should have been a pretty straight shot. And we were going to the right. And in my head, I was like, is he taking me somewhere? But this is terrifying. And so after like 2 blocks of us going in the wrong direction for what felt like no reason, I finally said, sir, and then he went, oh! He had forgotten I was in the taxi. And I guess just started driving home. I don't know where he was going. And we were like, you know, I say it should have been a straight shot. We had veered off a decent amount. Like I had called it out 2 streets from where I found us on Google, but we were very much to the right of where I live. And so finally I was like, hey, are you all right? He's like, oh, yeah, you scared me. No, sir. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I was in the middle of trying to pay you. And he was like, yeah, you scared me. Whew. Oh, man. Yeah, where'd you want to go? And I said my address, and he was like, oh, that's a little far. Just saying, treasure what you have. Even the fire doors here, y'all take very seriously. The fire doors are big here. We have them in the U.S. too, except there's one big difference between our fire doors there and your fire doors here. Your fire doors open in, which shocked me. They open in. And I was talking to somebody about it, talked to several people about it, and they were like, oh yeah, they open in because you don't want the backdraft to like let the fire out and everything, which does make, that's science. That's logic, yes. But if I'm using the fire door, I would love to get out as fast as possible. That's just me. That's what we do over there, right? Which might be why so many of our buildings last, I suppose. But I was like, why do y'all open them in? Like the people using the fire door trying to get out. And the guy that I was talking to was like, look, yeah, I understand that may seem odd to you, but we as a country have made an agreement that you're already on fire. Be a gentleman about it and don't catch everyone else on fire, all right? I've been walking around London, been enjoying being here and everything. You know, it's hard to not just notice all the differences. Like what things are like where you're from and what things are like in the place that you're visiting. And I gotta say, wow, y'all really just walk out in front of the car like that. That is just... That is insane. This is a wild thing to do. I know they don't hit you or whatever, and they're not supposed to, and I don't know what happens to them if they do. But the way y'all will step out and the car is here. Wow. I'm not like a fighter. I don't know how. Jimmy, like I've tried before, but I fight the same way that I bake. After a while, I'm just doing stuff with my hands to do it, but I'm not sure if this is right and it's not getting us anywhere. You know? Like one time, I was at this pizza party, okay? It's a pizza party that our class got because we had been good, which will be ironic in a second. But the teacher, because we got this pizza party for being so good, the teacher had built trust in us, which was a huge mistake. And so the teacher ordered pizza for the class. We got all these pizzas and dished out like 2 slices for everybody. Pick any 2 slices of these 3 to 4 different kinds of pizza that you like. And then our teacher left the room. left the room, and I don't know where this teacher went. It wasn't until I got older that I could even read the signs and think back about it in a way that contextualized why this teacher may have left. I think the pizza party, I think the teacher leaving was because they were hungover. They clearly had to be hungover. This whole thing screams hungover because they left and they never came back. They never came back for the rest of the class. And so everybody's eating pizza. Some people are getting more full than others quicker and everything. And then finally, there was one slice left. And when I tell you that this classroom turned to Lord of the Flies so quickly, you would think we had never eaten. You would think this was a pizza party where almost all of us were full, and everyone wanted the last slice just to have it, so much so that people even debated whether we should just rip it up and let everybody have a little bit. And then a couple people were like, no, that's crazy. What's wrong with you? There's a whole slice of pizza for one of us. And this is how I knew I didn't know how to fight, because I also wanted a piece of the pizza. Admittedly, I was also like, let me go ahead, throw my hat in there, right? And there was one kid, he was very big. And so some people didn't want the smoke immediately because he was first to get tall. And tall in your mind when you're a kid means grown. So he's the adult in the room. But I was like, no, I want some of this pizza. There were some other kids, I want some of this pizza. And because he was bigger than everybody, he was like, all right, we'll decide this fair and square. Let's fight for it. And two other kids had backed up before he had finished the sentence, fight for it. I was the only one still sort of standing there waiting to hear the end of his sentence. And so once he said fight for it, I was like, ooh. So it's going to be a couple of us and you, or is it? But then I turned and everybody had backed up so many steps. I was like, uh-oh, I'm the only one. Man, y'all made a circle fast. Everybody came together to, wow, y'all moved the desks. This is, this is crazy. Why can't y'all be this organized when we play basketball? This is, And so then it was me and him. And I didn't know how to fight then. I don't really know how to fight now, but I think it starts with a push. I've seen that a lot in movies where it's like the fight starts, first person gotta like, you know? And so I backed up a little bit. And I was like, okay. Okay. I'm gonna push him. He gonna fall down. He gonna explode. I'm gonna get some pizza. Also, you should know that your opponent doesn't know how to fight and to go easy on them when instead of this, they do this. This is salsa. And so I was like, okay. Huh. And I went to push him, and I fell back. Because he wasn't built like a child, to be fair. And then I spring up real quick. I was like, okay, that didn't work. Looks like we're gonna have to go to slaps. Slaps are next. And so I tried to fake him out. I reared back like I was gonna punch him, and then I used my other hand. I was like, because I had seen that in the cartoons. I was like, that's how you gather the power. And then I tried to fake him out, other hand. And also, like in the cartoons, his head turned, and then he just stared at me. And before I could say, uh-oh, he punched me in my face, right? Now, you're never actually supposed to see yourself. No, that's like a fact. You never see yourself. Like when you even look in a mirror, you're looking at your reflection. You're looking at yourself reversed. Like you're never supposed to see yourself, really. Like not in the natural world. People can take pictures and stuff, but you're not supposed to see yourself the way other people see you. That's just That's a thing that I learned in school, right? That you never see yourself exactly the way other people see you. You see a version of yourself, and it's actually why sometimes you can get in your head, because the version of yourself you see might not reflect the version that other people see at all. And so sometimes you sound delusional off of how you see yourself versus what they see. I said all that to say they punched me so hard in the face that I think my eyes saw each other. I don't know. So the punch looked like an optical illusion where, you know how you forget your nose? Like your nose is actually in your field of vision all the time, but your brain forgets it, or else a nose would be blocking everything that you see all the time. So then you don't see your nose, but it's right there. It's right in your face. And the punch worked the same way. I didn't really see it coming, and then I saw it for a second, and then it was gone, which is how I thought, oh, maybe my head is caved around his fist. Now, I know that this didn't happen, because if it happened, I wouldn't be here right now. But this is what it felt like, because I was like, ooh, wow, it's coming fast. I saw it, and now I don't see it, but I feel it. That's crazy. Does he have superpowers? And then he reared back, right? And so I was like, all right, I think the best defense for whatever that was is to just start swinging. And so then I swung again, and you ever play Grand Theft Auto and fly out the car? And you know how you get that doll effect? You're sort of flying forever, and then you bounce, and it changes your trajectory a little bit. Okay, anyway, I said that to say that I reared back for a real punch this time, no slap. Reared back, it was going to be a real punch, and then when I started swinging, he hit me again. I didn't see this one at all. It felt like he had somebody help or something, because he hit me, I know he came around like this, but it stayed hidden forever. This kid hit me, and I turned my head from the punch and licked my elbow. Which you're not supposed to be able to do. You're actually not supposed, it's like a party trick if you can lick your elbow. You're not supposed to touch your elbow, but I think I twisted so hard with my mouth open saying no that I caught a taste of my elbow. Whole reason I tell you about this is that years later, oh, he got the pizza, by the way. Years later, I found out that our teacher, who gave us the pizza party and then left us, who I'm sure now, through hindsight, was hungover, was seen later by one of our classmates who went to the bathroom, and on the way to the bathroom, they passed the teacher's lounge, and in the teacher's lounge, they saw our teacher just sitting, eating a whole pizza by themselves. Head hanging over the pizza, but whole pizza nonetheless. We were fighting for the last slice. You had like 11 more. It was crazy. I tried really hard to take a break, because I never want to be the type of person that talks about the same thing over and over again, you know? I tried. I thought, okay, maybe it's not even worth talking about, you know? Like Trump went to Davos. He went to Davos, and he was like, I demand Greenland. And then everybody at Davos was like, ah. And he was like, I want it, and I'm gonna take it. This is before he got there. I want him to take it. We're gonna get it. We're gonna take it. If you don't give it to us, we're gonna take it. And then he got there, and then when they were like, but yeah, you say you're gonna take it, but are you gonna like use military force? Are you really gonna come get it? Do you want the smoke? And he was like, I just like to have it if you. No, it's just if you wanted to, if you want it, I don't know, if you just wanted to see me happy. No, if you felt like doing me a favor. You know what I'm saying? Like if you, I thought we were friends, but whatever. It's cool. But like, it'd be cooler if you gave it to me. And then they were like, no. He was like, what about a little bit? What about some? Like, we're already there all the time. Maybe some. Maybe give me 2 pieces. Can I have 2 Greenlands? Just 2 little pieces. It was okay with you. And then they went, they, negotiated. And from my understanding, what they have decided is that the areas where there's already a U.S. military base in Greenland, those pieces of land where that base is will be seen as like sovereign U.S. land, but no other land, no land that they weren't already on, is becoming U.S. land, which is not the same thing as taking Greenland. It's basically saying you can stand on the ground you're standing on like you were already standing there. Because you need to stand somewhere, I suppose. And no matter how they try to spend it, no matter how they try to spend it, no matter how they try to like art of the deal it or whatever, he knows, because when he approached the press and they were like, sir, did you, because they're at Davos, this is here, this is where he's sitting, I'm gonna go get it. And they were like, sir, did you get Greenland? He, all by himself, himself, no one else, alone, they asked him, and then he was like, so you should have played it off. I thought you were gonna come out there and be like, we got some Greenland. Because technically you did get a little bit of Greenland, the Greenland you were already standing on. That's something, kind of. It's nothing like what you said, but it's something. It's like, stuff happens. All you can do is try. Because you do the best you can to not have to think about things. Sometimes to not think about news and what's going on. It's like, it's a constant thing. It's like beating you down all the time. Every notification, every scroll on any platform. Whole algorithms dedicated to reminding you everything that's going on, And when you see what's happening in Minnesota, when you see this latest murder, because that's what it is. There's no way around it. There's no justification. There's no both sides in it. By any manner of how you look at things, ethically, morally, legally, this thing was murder. And so you see Alex Preddy in Minneapolis, Minnesota, trying to take up for someone else, trying to defend someone else, right? ICE pushed this woman to the ground, and he stepped in the way, had his hands up. And they didn't just knock him to the ground. They pistol whipped him, they beat him, and they shot him. All of it on camera, all of it with people watching. And I think it's very easy to see something like that happen somewhere else, and while being shocked, while being disgusted and horrified, while understanding every transgression, every moral failing about it, it's very easy to say, this thing is horrible. Thank God it can't happen here. And the problem with thinking that way is that that's exactly how things happen here. You think it can't come, and you think it can't come by virtue of who you are or how things operate. And then when it's at your doorstep, you almost don't know what to do. Because I'm telling you, as someone who has lived in the U.S. my entire life and grew up around people who watched the rest of the world, watched coups, watched civil wars, watched all manner of horrific things, and watch people say, thank God that can never happen here. And then it starts to. And these people don't know what to do with themselves because the whole reason it wasn't happening here was because we just told ourselves that it couldn't. We told ourselves a lie to make ourselves feel better. The only way it can't happen here is if it actually can't happen here. The only way it can't happen here is through the action it takes to hold people accountable nonstop to where it can never happen here. The only way that it cannot happen here is if there's an understanding that it could happen here. You know? I don't want to see what happened in Minneapolis happen anywhere else. Anywhere else in the world, anywhere else in the U.S. But there needs to be an understanding of what is happening. We're all the way to science fiction now. We're all the way to the classics. We're living in some sort of like George Orwell excerpt. It's happening because you see the video. You can see the video from so many angles. And then you see the statements by the Department of Homeland Security. You see the statements by potentially the president. You see the statements by people, political pundits on Twitter. And they are telling you not to believe your eyes. They're lying in your face. That's not what you heard. The way these systems work is that you would think, at least, the way it's propped up is a three-tiered system, right? There's the person on the ground. There's the person you might actually come in contact with, and maybe they believe certain things, maybe y'all butt heads, right? Then above that tier is the actual politician, the politician that stokes them up. They blow the dog whistles that get this person to say the thing out loud. But then above that, even above the politician, is the person that pays the politician. The person that, if we're talking about a world of puppets and puppet masters, is actually pulling the strings. A person that you will never come in contact with, even though you will feel the extension of their power. You know? We see these systems fighting each other, right? Because someone would ask, anyone could ask, where are the Democrats right now? Where have the Democrats been? And you'll see some Democrats actually make some sort of statement, you know? But the statement will, interestingly, not have the same bite that you would expect. Y'all are supposed to be the opposition party. What's happening? What's happening is that the same corporate interests pay both people. You know, there's one party that is a bit better at being an extension of those interests outwardly, openly. But the other party is paid to do nothing in the meantime. But make no mistake, both parties can be owned. It's why you should never put your faith in a party. You put your faith in people all the time. You never stop believing in people. People move those parties. Those parties don't mean anything. Parties don't believe in anything. It's the people in those parties that actually make action happen. There's no one party that has handled everything right throughout human history or any government, but there are people that use the momentum that they create through a party to affect change. You know, they'll have you fighting over scraps, over whose scraps these should be. Meanwhile, they've broken off a whole piece for themselves. And the politician's perfectly happy to let them because they've already been paid off. You have to trust in the people that you meet. You have to build community anywhere that you can. And when you build a community large enough, you have an entire network of people that you can trust. Because trust, when you see something like what's happening right now in the U.S., where ICE attacked that man. ICE attacked that woman that the man was defending. ICE took away his weapon, a weapon he wasn't using. It's on camera. You can watch the whole thing. ICE beat that man. They shot him several times. And you can watch that entire thing. And maybe you can find some conscionable reason that this would happen, why everything hasn't gone awry. But I think if you can, then you might be a little bit too far gone. This thing was sick and it was illegal. And it's scary when your law is on the other side of legal. When you don't know what to do. And it's hard to know what to do. These are big forces we're talking about. You're talking about huge corporations, oligarchs, billionaires. I'm talking about senators. We're talking about politicians that have real meetings with people with power. So it's hard to know what to do. But you do what you can. You do everything that you can. I am not a fighter. I don't know how. I tried to fight for some pizza once. And I saw my own eyes. So maybe you're not a fighter. Maybe you organize. Maybe you're a connector. Maybe you do your best to bring people together. But any action that you do is something. Every action that you do is something. All these people, thousands of people protesting in Minnesota right now is also for the world to see. They took a life in front of the entire world to scare everybody, maybe scare you, so that when this comes here, maybe you comply in advance. Palantir isn't just in one country. You know? But thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people gathered together in negative 20 degrees. And that's Fahrenheit. I don't know what y'all would call it. But thousands of people gathered together in the cold to protest what they see that is illegal, that is wrong, that is immoral, that is not just unethical, that is tearing down every institution of the Constitution that the people that are representing them supposedly want to uphold. That's not nothing. You see those massive numbers and you see how you're not the only one who thinks something's going wrong. And when you're not the only one that thinks something's going wrong, you're not the only voice shouting for them to stop. And when you're not the only voice shouting for them to stop, you're not the only one rising up to make it stop. And when you're not the only one rising up to make it stop, you have an entire army of people behind you that support you, that have your back. Alex Preddy said, this is what's been said before he went to the protest, that he just wanted to make a difference. That's all he wanted. Trying to make a difference, standing in between someone else and more harm. That's something that's very brave to do. It's very scary to do. But it's what he could do. So he did it. Because now there's something that is on us. It's on every person that watches one of those videos. Alex wanted to make a difference. We decide if it makes a difference. All of us do. Everywhere. You may think to yourself, well, look, I'm just a person living in the UK. Don't know what I can do for the people in the U.S. You can let them hear your voice. You can let them know that you see what's happening, that no one's fooling you, that they have your support. You can make sure that what's happening there never happens here. You can make sure that it can't happen here. If it can't happen here, then that's a start. We were sure it couldn't happen to us. We were like, come on, this is America. And the corporations were like, yeah, we know. You know? But I sincerely hope that every single one of you understand that your life is precious and it has more meaning to other people that you haven't met yet than you could ever imagine. And so anytime one of these things, one of these terrible events, one of these corporations, one of these billionaires, one of these politicians tries to make you feel small, you need to understand that they're just a person too. And they're a person that's scared. It's why they want to scare you. They can't scare you because you won't let it happen here. If you see anything like it happening, you just have to snuff that thing out. You just have to make sure you call it what it is. And from afar, you know? The key is prevention. Alex Peretti said to people before he went to protest that he just wanted to make a difference. We decide what that difference is because they took him from us. So that difference has to mean something. It can't just mean something in the U.S. I think it has to mean something everywhere. Everywhere that this evil can go, the difference has to go. You know? I'll tell you this thing before I go so that you heard something funny. It is wild how when you come here and you be walking around, I can't help but compare. I'll take the tube and wow, this thing is very clean. I say that and you might be thinking to yourself, no, it's not clean. I saw a bag of crisps on the floor. When I tell you it's incredibly sweet that you think that that is dirty, I come from New York, where the subway, it's a way to travel. The subway has caked up. I don't think I'm touching the floor when I walk on the subway. It's not just dirty, it's dirty with history. Like I don't even know if this is the initial color they intended for the subway to be. And when you look at the tracks here, when you look at the tracks of the tube, you see the tracks. Wow. Didn't even know what technology we were using to move these trains. When you look at the tracks in New York City, you see not just a rat. You see a congregation. You witness a meeting. I don't know what they're talking about, but it must be important because everybody listening. I'm not saying you don't have your issues with your tube. I'm not even saying that you don't have at least one in the whole system. I'm sure there's one delicate Disney Pixar mouse. I'm sure you have one Paddington type mouse that goes on little adventures with his friends and learns valuable lessons about responsibility. I'm positive. It seems like you would have that. Yes, I'm sure that you have one little mouse that chirps when he talks, squeaks a little bit anytime he gets excited. Y'all probably named him or whatever. Leave cheese out for him. No, I'm talking about a harrowing scenario. I'm talking about okay. Normally, and anyone who has been to New York City or lived in New York can attest to this, when you see the rats on the track, it's almost like a little zoo. You're like, oh, look at them. I mean, it's gross, but like, yeah, going about their day and everything. Oh, I wonder what that one's talking to that one about. Oh, they're both chasing each other back and forth and everything. Oh, they see a little bit of food, they're getting the food. And there's a very like innocent, I would even say like cohabitating mentality to it. Where you're like, all right, I'm not gonna do anything about this. And they're there and it's not affecting me, so whatever. But every once in a while, every once in a while, one of those rats will try to climb up to the platform where you are. And as soon as it happens, you're like, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. Because it doesn't even try to climb up normal. This thing doesn't it doesn't just peek its head up. This thing... There was one time it was happening. There was one time this rat was climbing up the platform, gripping, trying to get on top. And everybody, some people backed up, 2 people screamed. It's one of the rare times in my life that I sprung into action. Because he was climbing up, it felt like he was halfway there, and I was like, boop.
You seen your headline on The Daily Show. You see them all over YouTube. I want you to put your hands together. Put your hands together. Put your hands together. Give it up for Josh Johnson.
It does feel like this Epstein thing is going to go on forever. Because, okay. The Dems released, I think it's like some sort of committee, they released these images that were subpoenaed from Jeffrey Epstein's estate. Jeffrey Epstein's estate turned over to this committee 95,000 images, pictures, everything like that. And then they released to the public 19. Which seems... maybe only one person's working today or something. Maybe there's a thumb in most of the shots on the rest of the pictures. This is crazy. 19 out of 95,000. Apparently, I still want that to be a fake number. Do you know what I mean? I saw 95,000, I was like, somebody hit an extra 0. There's no way. There's no way. And then the 19 pictures are... The thing about the pictures, right, is that on their own, only some of them are damning and weird and crazy. A lot of them are just pictures of people hanging out. It's just who is hanging out. Do you know what I mean? It's like a picture of Jeffrey Epstein and Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon back when he was actually working in the White House and everything, working for Trump when he wasn't just Steve Bannon. Sometimes you look at somebody. Steve Bannon a tough one, because sometimes you look at somebody and you're like, oof, maybe they gotta be racist. I don't know. If I look like that, I'd probably hate everybody too. I'd probably look. I'm not condoning racism. I'm just saying, look, no one else looks like that. So of course he's gonna hate everybody that doesn't look like that. He gotta look like that. That's dad. Hard to live with. That man. Steve Bannon hate everybody. He looked like he would hate everybody. There's some. I'm not saying that every every like racist person is ugly on the outside. I'm just saying that like when you look at him, and if somebody told you he was like a deep like a super racist, you'd be like, yeah, I'll let the racists have that one. Like that's not getting in my feelings at all. That is, imagine somebody hates you and like really hate like a lot of hate in their heart, and they would love like a sort of dystopian future where you and everybody like you is living a terrible life just because they have so much hate in their heart. And you see them though, like on paper that's very upsetting, but when you see them, let's say you see this person and then you're like, oh. Do you know what I mean? Like Steve Bannon looked like white Thanos. Like he was crazy. When I found out about this dude, I was like, is this dude? I didn't want to assume he was racist, and then he said some kind of racist. I was like, yeah, there it is. Because the thing about when you're racist, it's like people have to feel less bad about not wanting to be around you anyway. And I will say this: look, this is just me. I'm not telling anybody else how to feel. This is just me. Even if Steve Bannon was not racist at all, I would still be like, ugh. And that's on me. That is on me. That is me. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you judge a book by its cover, and you're right, because the book is like made of skin. Like, remember the book from Hocus Pocus? Steve Bannon made of the same leather binding as why he always look wet? This man, you know what I mean? He looked like if Sweat woke up and started walking and talking and being racist. Like, it's just, man. You look at Steve Bannon and you're like, no wonder the Klan wore sheets. Like, there's people that you see sometimes and you're just like, woof, wooga, booga, ooga. And Steve, I said all that to say Steve Bannon is in pictures with Jeffrey Epstein. And it's like, that's also not good. Because it's not like you could convince anyone you were anyone else. Do you know what I mean? There are people in the Trump administration that look like other people. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like Sean Duffy to me looks like every coach I've ever seen. Every like youth sports coach, I'm just like, yeah, maybe. If you told me he was like Secretary of Transportation or like the head coach of the youth volleyball league, I'd be like, both of those track for me. So if Sean Duffy was in a picture, you'd be like, is that Sean Duffy? Because that could be somebody else. But nobody else looked like Steve Bannon. So as soon as I saw Steve Bannon, I was like, oh, Steve Bannon. Jeffrey Epstein let Steve Bannon get real close to him. I knew he was a freak. I didn't know, wow. Oh, man. And then you see like Jeffrey Epstein with plenty of other people. You see pictures from the island and stuff like that. You see Jeffrey Epstein in pictures with Woody Allen. This is very weird. It's not weird as if I saw that picture. It's like, not Woody. I'm saying. I'm saying it's weird in that you see Woody Allen by himself, and maybe you're already like, ugh. And then you see how people fight it. We know everything with Woody Allen. We don't even need a rehash. We know. And then you see this, and you're like, I know it. Seeing Woody Allen with Jeffrey Epstein would be like, it would be like if OJ's glove slipped on perfectly. Like, oh, yeah. Woody Allen. I forget about Woody Allen all the time. And then something reminds me of Woody Allen, and it never doesn't remind me what Woody Allen is like. Do you know what I mean? There's never, I don't know, maybe I don't watch enough movies, but I've never been like, a new Woody Allen. Like, no, the thing with the daughter, and it's top of mind. You know, Woody Allen. What would they have to talk about? Like, and then there's a picture of, I think it was like Bill Clinton and Ghislaine Maxwell together, like a group picture and everything. Hillary, not there. Hillary, not the, man. Every time Bill not with Hillary, he get in trouble. You know Hillary must stay mad as hell at home.
Oh, yeah.
See all these people. 19 pictures out of 95,000. That, I don't know why we keep dropping like Epstein content like albums. Like this is... Oof. No, this is bad. I don't even know what to do with this. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, you see a picture of Trump and all the people whose faces they're like blacking out and everything. And you're like, okay, what's that? What is that? That never looks good. That never looks good. If I take a picture with some people and they blacked out everybody's face but mine, there's no smile, there's no demeanor you can have when they blacked out everybody's face but yours and look like innocent. Like there's no way that it's not happening. If I take a picture with people and they black out everybody's face but mine, either I did something or they did something. You know what I mean? There's no, like, even if you look happy, blacked out everybody's face but then you. Blacked out everybody's face and then you. There's no scenario where you don't look like you did something. They blacked out everybody's face but yours. It's not good at all. And then you see these weird inside jokes they had and everything. It's weird stuff. It's upsetting, weird, and it's crazy to me. It is so insane to me that out of this multi-billionaire cabal of predators, that somehow amongst all of them, because you're talking about like what would normally be serious conspiracy level stuff, like would be on TV type of, these people, every single one of them, so far as we've seen, right? All of us, whether you've only like delved in it a little bit and you've just seen what was on TV report on the news, or whether you dug deep yourself and you've researched a bunch of all the people involved and everything, it is insane that out of all of these people, billionaires the world over, right, having ties to each other that are just through Epstein don't make any sense. That somehow all of these people, every single one of them, does not know how to draw anything. Like they cannot draw at all. It's terrifying how like the drawings they do aren't even motor skills. Like this is, I don't know what I'm looking at half the time. Like even that thing that Trump supposedly drew, but then they're like, we have proof he drew, but I don't even know. I don't even know. I really don't know. I assume he drew it, but I don't know if they finally like said, because he said he didn't draw it. But then when you see the drawing, you're like, he drew it. That looked like, it looked like something he would draw, because it's like the way it doesn't look like a person. It's like, I would like to think that not only did Donald Trump draw that, but that is how he sees people. Like it would make more sense for the country if Donald Trump only saw things in cartoons. That would be pretty good. If you went inside his head and it was like, oh, everything looked like Dilbert. This is crazy. Because doesn't he seem like an Adventure Time type president? Like, just like, him looking around, people are like, this is serious. And he's like, I don't know. He looked like a dragon. I mean, it's like, sir, that's Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon, multiple pictures with Jeffrey Epstein. Hanging out. Man, what could they have to talk about? Yeah, I mean, what, like, oof. Oof. Do you ever wonder if Steve Bannon tried? If he tried to like, nah, I gotta do something, I gotta clean myself up. Let me do like a chemical peel or something. Like, let me do something. I don't know if you just look like that off the rip. Like, I think something happened. There's got to be an origin story at play. You can't just, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like Steve Bannon got the same background as Splinter from Ninja Turtles. Like, just, probably, like, it would make sense if Steve Bannon was like living in a sewer and then he came across these turtles, right? And these turtles, he started taking care of the turtles. He thought about eating them, but then he was like, nah, I'll take care of them, everything. And then there's like this toxic waste that they were all exposed to, and he put the turtles in it because he was like, I lived. And so then the turtles got like a special, physical intelligence for martial arts, and he went off and joined the White House staff. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. He just doesn't look like I've seen Steve Bannon say like dog whistle racist things and been like, bro, you don't need the dog whistle. Like, this one's all you. Like this. Steve Bannon is what you imagine when you imagine like a deeply, racist person. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you look at it and you're like, oh. I would rather it be that way. No, it's just convenient that his entire shape aligns with his views. Like, it's just, if you really have never seen Steve Bannon, he looked like, a Sphinx? He looked like...
Oh my God.
He looked like the head of a frog and the body of a wildebeest and the legs of a chicken and the hands of like a mole rat. You know what I mean? I feel like I don't know, Steve Bannon just seemed like he bite ice cream. You know those people? You know those people who can't even enjoy a treat without being a psycho? You know what I'm talking about? Like, Steve Bannon looked like he bite an ice cream cone in the face. Like, he just attack it. He lets it drip down his hand and goes, I'll save some of this for later. It is crazy how you will be doing your best to get your life together as best as you can. And it is unfair that anybody can make you their emergency contact. Like, I can't even get into a hotel room I paid for without my ID, but you could just write my name and number down. And now all of a sudden I'm who they call if you get busted up. Like, this is a crazy system we've created. What if your emergency contact don't like you? We didn't think this through at all. This is I mean, it's indicative of a you know, less than stellar healthcare system, but your emergency contact should be somebody that you trust, should be somebody responsible. It should be somebody who knows their emergency contact. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta make somebody your emergency contact the way you make somebody a godparent. They need to know. Because you could do that too. You could also just make somebody you know a godparent and not tell them. And then people will hit them up and be like, hey, so they said if anything ever happened to them, you have a kid now. And when you say what, they're like, they said you'd say that. What? In what world? I was made the emergency contact for a friend one time, and I was like, I don't know what he expects me to do with this. Like, they called me and they were like, hey, you're his emergency contact. I'm like, all right, what was the emergency? And he skateboarded off a roof. No, I had the same reaction. Not only did I have the same reaction, he looked at me crazy like, I thought I could land it. No, my mistake. I forgot. The world is Tony Hawk Pro Skater 9. That was crazy, though. I thought I could land it. And so I made them call you on a Saturday. That's the other thing, too. You can make your emergency contact somebody so that the person who should really be your emergency contact doesn't find out. You know what I mean? Made me the emergency contact because he knew if he made his parents the emergency contact, he'd hear an earful about skateboarding off a roof. But the crazy thing about making me the emergency contact versus his parents is that his parents still live in the state he's in. I moved away years ago. This is just... I don't even drive. What do you expect me to do for you? Do you know what I mean? Like, you would be better off just telling me to put you on the prayer list or something. Because even the person that called me, even like the receptionist that called me, I was like, so am I supposed to do something? And they were like, no, not really. We're sort of letting you know. I was like, wait. So you called me. He's alive, right? Like, he's alive? And like, yeah, I mean, probably gonna be discharged in a couple of days. I was like, oh, okay. Is it like, is anything broken? I'm like, yeah, his leg. I was like, oh, okay, so not his hands or his mouth. But he still made you call me even though he has my number. And then this was insane. I'm on the phone with this person at the hospital, right? I said what I just said. I said what I said to her, what I just said to you, and then she went, "Oh yeah." No. You work at the hospital. I cannot be blowing your mind right now. That is terrible. It's so frustrating too. You know, he got a big bill for it. He got a big bill for breaking his leg, skateboarding off the roof. And it's not like they charge you extra for it being stupid. They charge you what they charge you based on, you know, insurance, network, deductible, stuff like that. It would, I think by now that I'm an adult and I like know what any healthcare thing is, right? Because when I was a kid, I would just go to the doctors. My mom took me to the doctor because she was like, I don't know, right? Like if I got hurt or felt sick around my grandma, there was usually something. There was usually like a remedy, something passed down. I remember one time I had a wild lump in my throat, like to the point where I was like, I wasn't necessarily having a lot of trouble swallowing. It was just very present. It was making me deeply uncomfortable. And then she was like, "Oh, okay." You know, I'm thinking in my head, I'm gonna have to go to the hospital because I'm like, I've never even heard of this. And then she's like, "Oh, tell me what's wrong." I told her. And then she was like, "Okay." She goes to the kitchen, comes back, and she puts like a couple dashes of salt on a spoon. She was like, "Open your mouth." And then she put the spoon right under, you know the thing. And so she put it on there, and I was like, ah. And then, sure enough, it just went away. It just went away. No charge. It's just gone. It's crazy, you know? Meanwhile, you go to the doctor, and you ask the doctor what's wrong. And the doctor's like, "I have no idea." Like, I don't know you. We just met and you just told me what's wrong. Why would I know? Do you think I'm magic? Why would I know what was wrong? I have no idea what's wrong. I'll run some tests so I can find out, which is logical. That does make sense. That does sound like science. I don't know, so let's run some tests so we can find out. All right, we're all human. We can't all just guess and be right. How much will the test cost? I don't know. Why would I know that? It's a test, and it's a test for you, which is gonna cost different from everybody else. Don't you know that? You idiot. Don't you know that the test costs whatever we say it costs after it's been done, so that way you can't really make a decision on whether or not you can afford it. We're just gonna tell you later, you know. Like, I don't know, a hospital charged you the way a loan shark lends you money. It's like, because you get the bill and you're like, all right, I was there. So I remember you barely helping. Meanwhile, everybody that like wants to do good, like some of the most good you can do as a medical professional is really lean in and quietly tell somebody like, "Hey, look, this is gonna be insane. Just so you know, this is gonna be, this is too much." Like, I love when I get like a nurse or a doctor and I ask them like, "Well, what about this? Like, would you do this?" And they're like, "No." that's real good, you know? Because I genuinely feel like nurses especially don't get the like pay, the recognition, any of the like care that they deserve, because if there's gonna be someone that saves you $20,000, it will be a nurse. It'll be a nurse that's like, just take some ibuprofen. You know? Or like, you know, sometimes you end up in a bad situation because you get charged this insane amount in this incredibly frustrating way, whether you got good care or not. That's devastating. Imagine you have to pay all this money, still don't even know what's wrong. You know? It's crazy. Because then I've been in situations where, I was at the doctor and I was like, this is bad. I can tell this is bad. And not bad as in my health, bad as in like, I don't think he a good doctor. Like I could like, and I'm not saying this is a medical profession. I'm saying like some of it's presentation. If you're a doctor, I don't want to hear really think about what you're gonna say before you say it, and don't hit me with the uhs and ums when you're telling me something, because I'm asking you. I don't know. So if you're like, it might be inflammation. It could be stress. It's like, okay, we're just guessing in a room together. If we just guessing in a room together, then I can go ahead and go, because I'm gonna get charged like you said what it was. No, it's crazy. It does not have to be like this. It doesn't have to be like this at all. And you know, because you go to any other country and it's different. I'm not even saying it's always better, but it's different. They're like, oh yeah, we do it a different way where you don't die. You know what I mean? We do it this different way where, like, yeah, technically our healthcare is expensive because you have been, taxed to the point where it's already all in the social safety net, and the safety net catches you. Is the whole point of the net. And then when you come here, you don't have to worry about an arm or a leg in payment when we don't know, because we won't know. We won't know here either. Do you know what I mean? You go to the doctor in France, and like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that some of these places with universal healthcare don't have incredibly long lines or don't have their own like system failings, but I'm just saying a start is a start, you know? And sometimes you go to these places and you'll be like, oh, okay, the line is what y'all are complaining about. The line? All right. The line. Because we have a line. We also sit in the line for long to not know. That's one of my favorites, is like how ambulances can be out of network. That's you can tell the devil came up with that. That's the And look, I'm not saying I know everything about this. I'm just saying this is my understanding. I hope I'm wrong. I love being wrong. It's usually a better world when I'm wrong. I love being wrong, but from what I understand, there are like ambulances that are not covered that will then take you to hospitals that are out of network, which just makes the whole thing more expensive. It becomes like a $9,000 Uber ride to the hospital. And I don't know, I feel like it's tough. It's tough because it's like, how are you gonna tell them, like, let's say you hurt yourself. let's say you get hurt and maybe you're even like knocked out or something. So then somebody calls an ambulance. It's scary. You don't want just to witness somebody dying right in front of you. So you call an ambulance. The ambulance comes and picks this person up, takes them to the closest hospital and everything. And you were unconscious. So you couldn't tell them, I'm not getting in the ambulance. I'll walk. I will walk and die before I get in there. Because then every time the wheel turned, that's like $200. And then you got the nerve to try parallel park at the hospital. Get some extra turns in. No. But you couldn't do that. You couldn't protest that you didn't want to get in this ambulance, that you didn't want to go to this hospital, it's out of network. Maybe you even knew that, right? And you couldn't stop it from happening because you were knocked out because you skateboarded off a roof like an idiot. And then you're laying in the hospital bed, leg broke, you broke. And then this person calls your emergency contact. Who didn't know? Who didn't know? And then they pick up, thinking it's a scam call, so they were admittedly a little rude when they picked up the phone. Because I do not like when people call me and ask me if it's me. You called me. You called me to ask if it's me. I know I'm me. If you don't know if I'm me, don't call me. If you don't know, you called me to be like, is this Josh? It's like, is that a trick? What is this? The only people that have this number are the people that know me. So if you don't know me and you have this number, maybe don't call. But if you do think it's me, you would just say, hey, Josh, right? You would say it with confidence. You wouldn't act like you found this number written on a bathroom stall. Hey, it's just Josh. Are you out of your mind? Is this Josh? That's what I love in my day. I love to spend my day telling people it's me when they think it's me and they've called me. The only way to have an interaction that's more aggravating is if someone was holding your ID and reading it and looking at you and go, is this you? It couldn't be more me. You're talking to me asking if I'm me. And so then I don't say anything because I can't tell if you're a robocall or not. Because you get those now too. You will get a robocall. You'll get a robocall and it'll sound not AI for the first like 3 seconds. Because anybody can say hello and sound convincing. Some people say it weird. Some people do. Like people who are not AI will be like, hello? I can't tell if that was a computer or I can't you know what I mean? It's like how you never know if the first sentence of a poem is good or bad. Like it's like, we need a little more to decide. You get that first hello. You get like a hello. You get so many different hellos and you're like, all right, this could clearly be a machine. You're not gonna get me. And I don't know this number. And you called me. I pick up and look, maybe it's wrong. I'm sure it wastes time. But when you call me and I don't know your number, I do give it like 10 seconds of just silence. I wait for you to speak. I wait for you. This might be insane. I don't know if I'm crazy, but like, I wait for you to speak. I don't know you, and then I'm pretty sure your voice triggers the robocall. You know what I mean? So when you're like, hello, they're like, oh, a person? Oh, we got you now. This number works. So then I'm like, I pick up and I'm like,
Talk to me. I ain't talking first. I don't know you.
and then I hear, hello? And I'm like, all right, you're not out of the woods yet. What's that second hello sound like? Because if the second hello sounds eerily similar to the first hello, you're an AI. You're not, no. No one says hello exactly the same pitch for pitch every single time. Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Is someone there? You know what I mean? And then this is what I'll do. This is also, this admittedly doesn't make sense. I'll tell you this right now. This does not make sense. This is why I should never be your emergency contact. Because even after the second hello or is someone there, all I'll give you is a cough. I'm coughing right into the phone because a person will be like, okay, that's a person, and maybe they're getting situated. Maybe they answered it in their pocket and they're trying to like get it to their head or something. But a robot doesn't know. Hello, is someone there? Is someone there? Is someone there? You know what I mean? And then you know you can just hang up, right? But hello? Hello? Okay, 2 different hellos. That sounds promising. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Can you hear me? That's pretty... You all right? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Are you okay? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm good. Hi, how's it going? Good, how are you? I'm good. Is this Joshua? I know you don't know me, but you're already trying my patience. Who is this? Because tell me who you are. Don't ask me who I am. This is my phone and I'm already in it. Like I'm already in my phone. You're a visitor in my phone asking if... Imagine somebody came into your house. They walked inside and they were like, are you? You'd be like, I have to shoot you now. I have to, like... Tell me who you are. If you broke into my phone, tell me who you are. Is this Josh? Yeah. Oh, okay. We're calling from blah, blah medical. And you were listed as the emergency contact for your friend. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's interesting, because I didn't know that I was his emergency contact. That's wild. You can just do that to anybody that you want. It's crazy. You can make someone your emergency contact while owing them $200. And that's wild. That's wild. Because when I need to emergency contact him for my money, there's no answer. That's crazy. That's crazy. You know, when I have an emergency of funds from the funds I don't have from the $200 I lent him, somehow, can't get a hold of him. Line isn't working. But when what did he do? He skateboarded for a roof. Huh, okay. Probably bought that skateboard with the $200. Do I need to do anything here? Is there anything I'm supposed to do? Like, am I getting charged for this call or anything? They're like, no, you don't have to do anything. Like, okay, good. I won't be doing anything. Because I just want you to know something about your patient, that he is a coward, all right? Because he has my number, but he knows that if he calls me, I'll ask him why the last text message I sent him about the $200 was left on red. And so he had you call me like I would forget. Why don't you call his parents? They live in the state. They could come pick him up or anything. And then I don't know I don't know what's like protocol or anything. I feel like because I do my best in real time to have like a real interaction with a person, like people are so used to pleasantries on the phone, especially like in a professional setting, like nurses, doctors, everything like that. I think that because of my general demeanor, or maybe the fact that I seem like I could hang up at any moment, or maybe she was as sick of my friend as I am. I don't even think she was supposed to tell me this, but she was like, oh yeah, because I asked, well, why don't you call his parents? I can give you their number. They're not even my emergency contact, and I can give you their number. They would be more interested in this whole ordeal. You know what I mean? And then she tells me, she's like, no, they're here. It was their roof that he skateboarded off of. They're here. They're here as in there. They're here as in there where you are in that building. They might be behind you. Why are you like, oh well, it's a protocol. We thought they just got here, so we called you. To be fair to her, we had been on the phone for a while now, so like there was time for his parents to get there. It's like, you can just do that. You can just make somebody your emergency contact, not even tell them. That's crazy. That's wild, Lisa. She's like, huh, yeah. I was like, all right. It's a weird conversation to try to end, too. Because then I'm sitting there like, does he need $200 more? Like, why would he? His parents are there now, and I don't live there. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with the information that his leg is broken. And then she was like, yeah, I don't know either. I told her, I was like, I hope you have a good day. Like, you deserve a good day. You have to call and let people know they're the emergency contacts of people that they don't even know what's happening. And she's like, yeah, thank you. And then we got off the phone, and I just sat there. I genuinely just sat there for a second. I just was on the phone with this person for a while. And it occurred to me, like, I'm sitting there, now I know not only am I like my friend's emergency contact, because through everything, that does say something. It says something about like how he sees me or something like that. And sometimes you have a friend that you don't really know where you stand with for a given reason, and then something like that happens and you're like, oh, maybe we're closer than I thought. Like, even though I moved away, he was like, I want this person to know if something happens to me, which did touch me. Like, and I'm being completely serious. It was like, genuinely, that did like move, because we hadn't spoken in a little while. It wasn't even like a falling out or anything like that, but we just hadn't talked in me moving and everything. And I was just sitting there thinking about how he made me the emergency contact instead of his parents and everything. And I was also sitting there, just eventually I was like, it was $300 that
Mira,